is our poi lesson, how to get started spinning poi. So when you spin poi, you use 2 of them most of the time. But we're going to start off with 1, just as some easy things that you can do for getting started. So just standing with my poi in front of me, I'm holding it with a knot here. These are just made out of socks. There's lots of different varieties of poi, but these are just some of the squishy balls in a sock. So what I'm going to be doing as I'm standing here is just spin it around. And as it's spinning to me in a counterclockwise direction. So for you watching, it'll look like clockwise. So just getting used to the feeling of the momentum and the weight as it spins around. And then I'm just going to let it stop, drop it down, and spin it the opposite way, which is for me now clockwise and you watching counterclockwise. So just getting used to both directions, stopping it, spinning it back the other way. Stop and change directions. So once I get used to that, I'm going to try the same thing in the opposite hand. So the first one that I'm doing looks like clockwise to me this time. And this is my left hand, my non-dominant. And then I'm going to change directions to the opposite way. So just getting used to spinning both directions, both hands. Then the next thing I'd like to show you is still just using 1 sock poi, is starting spinning. I went back to my non-dominant hand to start, or excuse me, my dominant hand to start with, and I'm spinning it counterclockwise. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the poi spinning exactly like it is, but I'm going to turn my body to my left a quarter turn. So as I do, now the poi is to the side of my body. And so this is very useful for some of the other moves that we're going to do, like the weave. So for now, I'm just going to turn back. And then I'm going to go ahead and reach up with my non-dominant hand to where I have both hands spinning. So now I'm going to release with the original hand, so I'll be left holding with the non-dominant hand. So I just made a little pass there from one hand to the next. Now I'm going to turn a quarter turn to my right. And now it's to the side. And you can see it's kind of spinning in a reverse direction, which again, backwards, and also called a reverse direction. So I turn back to face my poi again, put my dominant hand on, which for me is my right hand. So if you're left-handed, this would be all reversed. And now I'm going to let go with my non-dominant hand and turn to the side. So you can see that I could keep spinning the poi as I rotate from side to side. And then just passing it from one hand to the next. You can spend a little time holding on with both hands, release. So changing hands, turning side to side. And if you want, you can put some music on and add a little dance step. And pretty basic, right? Again, just with 1 single poi, but practicing on both hands. So I'm going to add one other thing as I pick up 2 pois. Now, so what I'm going to do on this one is that I'm going to spin them, kind of circle out and around and into the center. I'm just going to keep my hands a little bit wider so that they don't hit. And I'm letting them spin around. And this time they're going inward for a circle. And now if I reverse that and go outward, and as I hold my arms out to the side, it gives you a pretty good arm workout. If you want to leave it out, just straight out, you'll start to feel that in your arms. So going forward, and then stopping, and going out, away, circling in and out. And I'm, at this point, just keeping them further apart so they don't hit. stop, and inward, and stop. Now the next thing when I showed as we turn to the side, I'm going to put one on each side now. So it's spinning to the side, one on each side. And as I turn towards the camera and do the same thing, it's spinning to the side. Now I want to tell you a little bit about some terminology that we use for poi. So as we're spinning the poi, if we're spinning it on the side, like I was just doing, we call that wheel plane. Wheel plane. So what that means is kind of like the wheels on a car. They're going around and round on the sides. Then when I was spinning it in front of me with either a single poi or both, this is called wall plane. So if you imagine yourself standing with a wall in front of you, maybe in a hallway, and you're spinning this between you and the wall. So that's called wall plane. So as you're learning moves, you might learn something that's in wall plane, or you might learn something in wheel plane. Wheel plane, you can go forward and backwards, or forward and reverse. And that's enough to get you started, right? So you can go in wall plane, circling out and in, stopping, then I'm going to come in and then out, and stopping. So we had some things with just a single poi to get you started, and then starting to introduce you to using two pois. And you should already start to feel that in your arms. I know I am. Thanks for trying it out.